Thanks, everyone. So Brixton, we've been around since about 2010, got listed in December 2010. We trades on the venture exchange on BBB and on the OTCQB under BBBXF. It's our safe harbor statement. I may be making some forward-looking statements, so I just need to caution you on those. So we believe we've got a very strong management team. We've all had successes in building companies and selling them off and building resources. And we're really discovery driven. I mean, for me, it's all about getting out there and making those discoveries. And you're not going to find it sitting in the office. So I really enjoy getting out, boots on the ground. And I think that's what Brixton has going for themselves. They've got a good team. They know how to get things done. And we pride ourselves on acquiring good assets at a reasonably low cost and then advancing them off and building them up towards a feasibility stage. We've had a really good year this year. You could have bought Brixton shares, I guess, before our news release at around 12 cents. We came out with that gangbuster hole, over half a kilometer of about 2 grams gold equivalent. So pretty spectacular hole. The company's traded 58 million shares since July 15th. And prior to the financing, we only had 90 million shares out. And then 40% of those shareholders were long hold tight. So we traded a lot of stock in a short period of time. You can see the numbers now. We're around 134 million shares out, 44 million market cap. Recent investment by Mr. Eric Sprott. He came in with about a $4 million investment. That allowed us to raise about 7.8 million. So currently sitting around 8 million cash. Of course, no debt. And that puts Eric Sprott at just under 20%. And you can see the rest of the makeup: Rob McEwen, Pan American Silver, Hecla Mining, and management. So our strategy has been to really drill these discoveries and advance them through. Even though the company has 4 assets, we're really focused on Northwest BC this year. Mainly on our Thorn has really taken most of the attention, given the big drill hole that we hit. We also have an asset in the Atlan gold fields that we've done some work on. That we're pretty excited about. Very, very high grade historic gold camp. So the focus in BC, although we do have 2 wholly owned assets that are more silver weighted, the Hog Heaven in Montana and the Langus in Ontario. And both of those assets have historically provided very high grade silver numbers. So that's something that we'll be looking. We see that as optionality as the silver market improves. So Thorn is up in northern BC, part of the Golden Triangle. Well-endowed mineral belt up here. There's no question. There's lots of metal up here. So we've been busy there since, I guess, about 8 years. It's one of these, 8 years of hard work, overnight success story. We've got a massive land position there now, something like 2,000 square kilometers. We're looking to dominate the camp. We really got a whole district play on our plate here. If you were to measure top to bottom, that's like 70 kilometers long. What I wanted to run here, this is just a time lapse from when we started in 2011. And you can see the claims in green are Brixton Metals, wholly owned ground. So we've been pretty aggressive staking up the ground. So that's just a snapshot of what we've done over the years. Really have 3, I guess, main areas. And it's hard to see the scale on this thing, but this block is about a 10 kilometer by 10 kilometer block within that massive land position. And most of the historical work focused around the Camp Creek target. This is a high sulfidation system, and all the veins in the diatreme. You can see that O-band zone up there in the green. That's where we drilled the deep hole. We got the big numbers. So we really think we're sitting on multiple porphyry discoveries, and these are not small scale, 1 million ounce targets. These are multi-million ounce targets, like 10, 20, 50 million ounce gold targets. That's the kind of scale of system we're talking about here. The Camp Creek is one big porphyry system. The CHIVAS zone, which is fairly new, it's more than 3.5 kilometers long. So those 2 are the main targets that we're drilling now as we speak. And then the Outlaw zone is a sediment-hosted gold target that we've had some encouraging results on as well. So 3 large targets really within a 10 by 10 kilometer area, and it's just a small area of the scale of the project. Here's a cross-section of the Camp Creek where we drilled the deep hole. You can see there on your left, the 550-meter hole. We believe there's another diatreme off about 1 kilometer to the north that we encountered in some 2011 drilling. And so we'll look to get more drilling on that. And why we think there's a porphyry there is because these diatremes, you can see on that one picture there, the increased mineralized porphyry clasts. These are mineralized porphyry clasts within the diatreme. This is a strong indicator of a porphyry system. And then we've got these high-grade copper, gold, silver veins. You can see a high level. And those are also, we think, are representing the high-level part that you see in these porphyry systems are these veins. We just need to go deeper down, and that's what we're planning to do now. And we're running some deep geophysics, so we hope will help image that so we can get some deep holes into this thing and really start clacking our heels. This is just, you can look at this at your leisure when you get a chance. This is lots of numbers here to look at, but this is really one hole. It's a staggering amount of mineralization in one hole. Some very high-grade copper numbers out of here as well. 6 meters of 3.5% copper. So pretty exciting, one hole here, and we're going to continue to drill on this thing. Now this is the other zone called the CHIVAS zone. This represents a very large porphyry target. It has a footprint of Bingham Canyon, if any of you are familiar with Bingham Canyon in Utah, which really made Kennecott the large-scale copper gold porphyry system. This has the similar footprint, similar chemistry to that. We actually drilled here in 2017, but we're drilling on the margins. Really, we're chasing the gold part of the system, and we failed to test the porphyry. But now, of course, in hindsight, we're looking at this, and we went back and did some relogging of the core, and we've got some very strong porphyry indicators here. And now we can see on that one hole, 149, we're just getting into some copper grade at the bottom of that hole, and we just should have gone deeper on that. So that's our plan now. We actually are drilling this thing deep. We're going down to 500 to 1,000 meters on this target. Just a little bit on the Atlan goldfields, because this has been a big push for us this year. This is an interesting play because they found this goldfield when they were chasing gold for the Yukon Gold Rush back in the late 1800s. It's been 120 years of mining done here, placer gold. Homestake was in here in the late 80s and pulled some exceptional drill results. You can see that 5.5 meters of 16 ounces per ton. Some pretty spectacular gold grades out of this camp. And in fact, the largest gold nugget ever found in Canada came out of here, 85-ounce nugget. So no shortage of gold here. We've got a massive land position here in 1,000 square kilometers. You can see some of the gold that was pulled out of some of the placer pits. So this is our first year drilling on this project. We drilled 22 holes and collected over 1,000 soils and a couple hundred rocks. So new for us in a sense, but we're pretty excited about the potential here. There's lots of high grade those results should be coming out in the next few weeks, I hope. What this map is showing you is that all the yellow patches represent the placer operations historically or current. And interestingly, there hasn't been that much work focused on trying to find the source of all this gold. Homestake was in there in the 80s. They did pretty good work on this thing. But there's really strong evidence that the gold has not transported very far. You get hackly gold, really wiry stuff that you just can't, those kind of gold nuggets don't travel very well, very far away from the source. And it's pretty common to find big gold nuggets where you still got pieces of the host rock attached to them. So we're pretty confident that it's coming out of this system somewhere, but it's not easy. It's a bit of a needle in the haystack story, but lots of big nuggets here. And you get some very fine grade gold too. So there's differences in the type of gold you get here. So it's going to take some time to sort it out, but it's going to be an exciting story to watch. So I guess in summary for us, really, we believe we've got a great portfolio with high impact exploration targets. We've got a strong shareholder base with management, a skin in the game, and we're a discovery driven team, and we're actively drilling right now. So I think Brixton's worth keeping an eye on. Thank you very much.